Welcome to the third episode of Rontro, Class of Retro. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. We're doing Mega Man 2 today for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is by far my favorite 8-bit Mega Man game of all time. It's hard to believe that Mega Man 2 almost didn't happen. With the sales of the original Mega Man not meeting expectations, Capcom wasn't really interested in the development of another Mega Man game. But they made a deal with the development team. As long as they continued to work on other games, they were free to work on another Mega Man game on their own time. Series producer Keiji Inafune described this game's development as a rogue effort. This game sold 1.5 million copies, and it's no surprise considering that the graphics for the time were awesome, the music was some of the best we had ever heard yet, and the gameplay was excellent. In Japan, this game was known as Rokuman 2 Dr. Wari no Nazu, which translates to Rockman 2 The Mystery of Dr. Wily. I said Dr. Wily. I want to take a moment to apologize if I say any of these Japanese names wrong. I don't speak Japanese, so don't expect too much. This game was released in Japan on the Famicom, which is Japan's version of the Nintendo, on December 24th, 1988. It was released in North America on the Nintendo Entertainment System June 11th, 1989, and then a PAL version was released on January 1st, 1991. It has been released on multiple platforms since. This game is in the action platform genre of video games. The developers allowed input from the public by including boss designs created by fans. They received over 8,000 submissions for the game. The final 8 Robot Masters were tweaked because Inafune intended his artwork for Mega Man 2 to be more like an anime. Believe it or not, Mega Man actually got its own animated series. And he was one of the characters featured in the cartoon Captain N, the Game Master. Let's talk a little bit about the plot. Mega Man 2 takes place after the original Mega Man. It is set in the year 2000X. The villain of this story, Dr. Wily, builds a new fortress and an army of robots, led by 8 new robot masters that he designed. Mega Man is sent by his creator, Dr. Light, in Japan known as Dr. Right, to defeat Dr. Wily and his robot masters. I want to talk about the music a little bit. It's pretty darn amazing, I'd have to say. It was composed by Takashi Tateishi. In Japan, Mega Man is known as Rockman. This is why every track in the game has a rock-type sound. Keeping with the rock theme, later in this series, Mega Man was given a sister named Roll. The Nintendo's sound chip was really pushed to the limits with this game. The gameplay in this game is really good. The controls are very responsive. The only thing that this game suffers from is every time you get hit, there's a knockback. But many games from the NES suffered from the same thing. One of the cool things about this game is that you could play through the stages in any order that you wished. This is something that hadn't really been seen yet in video games at the time. After beating each of the 8 robots, you absorb their powers, which can be used against other bosses. Every boss has a weakness to at least one of the other bots' weapons. This game had a password feature which allowed you to continue where you left off. After you beat the 8 robot masters, you will continue on to Wily's castle to hunt down the evil scientist. And just when you think you have finished off the robot masters permanently, you have to face them yet again. I give this game a score of 10 out of 10. It is a well-deserved score. It is a really great game. It is just one entry in one of the greatest franchises in video game history. Well, that about does it for the review. Stay tuned after the credits for a quick tip. You can comment and subscribe. If you have any ideas that you would like to share for the show, please leave a comment below. I have been your host, Rontro, and I'll see you next time on Rontro, the Class of Retro. Did you know, if you held the A button as you select a boss, instead of stars floating behind the boss, you will have birds.